connecting Indigenous musicians and artists to the world. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars with your host, Rhonda Head.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show this evening. I'm really happy to say that it's my 67th show that's happening since it started in April when we were getting into the heart of COVID when we were shut down already for a month so I'm pretty happy. It's my 67th show, and I just want to thank the Safe at Home Manitoba for granting me money for the show, and also for granting other artistic organizations in Manitoba and keeping the artists busy with virtual shows. So I want to thank them, and I had the opportunity to perform at many Safe at Home Manitoba virtual shows. So thank you so much to the province of Manitoba for doing that for our artists in Manitoba. Hello, Kim. How are you doing? And Facebook user said, awesome. Maybe you can state your name. Welcome to the show. Hi, Glenna Smith. Nice to see you. So I just want to say I'm in Winnipeg right now. I'm coming to you live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I came in to perform at a missing and murdered Indigenous awareness event at a hotel at I believe it was somewhere on Ellis. Anyway, I can't remember the name of the hotel. Oh, Holiday Inn Express, that's the one. And I want to thank Hilda from MKO for inviting me, and I got to see some of the other amazing artists there. There was Brandy Vezina, Gator Bolio, and Sierra Noble, and Pamela Mary. It was so great to see all of them and to see somewhat of a live show. But we did it virtually, and they had a really great setup. Res Radio Native Voltage, thank you for tuning in. How's it going? Hey, it's going well here. How are you doing over there? Nice to see you tuning in. You're going to be happy with my guest today. So I'm glad you tuned in. The other thing I wanted to say, I got into a car accident last week, and I was driving down Grant Avenue in Winnipeg, and this car came and just kind of almost T-boned me, and I sped up, and lucky I did, because he hit the back rim of my tire. If I didn't do that, he would have hit me, so I was a little bit banged up, but I'm okay now. I got some painkillers, and I'm doing fine now. So thank Creator for not allowing me to get into a bigger accident than what it could have been. So I thank Creator for taking care of me while I'm traveling in Manitoba and Winnipeg. I was here for a doctor appointment, and that's why I was here last week. The other thing I want to mention is that I'm starting a new job with the Manitoba Arts Network. So I'm really excited to be working back with them again. This is probably my sister. Subscribe and like Indigenous Superstars on YouTube. Thank you, my sister Janet. But yeah, I started a new job. I'm the Indigenous coordinator for Manitoba Arts Network, and I work with Indigenous emerging artists. And it's really exciting. It's our third year, and so many the artists that went through the program are flourishing in the music industry, and it's so amazing to see our people doing so well in the music industry, and it's such a passion for me, and I just love promoting all artists. So it's really it's the job that I'm supposed to be at. Res Radio says thanks for the pill, LOL, cool, LOL, and Kim says congratulations, and thank you so much. And I just want to announce, tune in next week, because I'm going to have a I'm going to be making a huge announcement. If you listened to the show last week with Delbert Anderson, I kind of spilled a little bit of what I'm up to. So next week, the press release and social media ads should be ready, and I'm gonna just announce what I'm up to. So without further ado, I'm going to read my next guest's bio. And my 67th show guest is Quentin Condo, aka Q052, is a member of the Mi'kmaq Nation and is from the community of Geskapig. I hope I didn't kill that. Located in so-called Quebec, Canada. Q052 nicely adds jazz, soul, and R&B vibes to his old hip-hop school songs that dare to speak loud and clear and face the truth like a punch in the face. Many Indigenous sisters and brothers should recognize themselves in his music. The lyrics constantly challenge the Canadian government about the Indian Act, territorial destruction from resource exploitation, the hidden agendas surrounding the truth and reconciliation process, and the many levels of the Canadian genocide. His music is a call to take collective responsibility and ask for systemic changes while telling soulful and touching stories straight from the res. A strong advocate for Indigenous youth and women fighting alongside his brothers and sisters, he started to write in hope that his truthful music will inspire systemic change. Q stands for Quentin, and 052 is the official government identification number of his reserve. Welcome to Giskapigyach in the Gisgas BC. Sorry, Quentin, for slaughtering the names of your reserve. Hope please give me the correct pronunciation. You can also see Q as a recurring guest on the very popular Quebec talk show La Tour on TVA, which is hosted by actor, comedian, and producer Patrick Huard. Quentin is invited onto the talk show to talk about the issues that Indigenous people in Canada and the USA struggle with, such as the high numbers of missing and murdered Indigenous women, police brutality, environment, and culture. Please welcome my 67th guest, Quentin Condo. Hey.
Gwe. Lindo Quentin Condo. Hope you're doing good.
I'm doing great. I'm busy. I know we had a short chat before we started the show, and we're talking about how busy we've both been since COVID has happened, and it seems like we got even more busier since pre-COVID, I guess you could say, and it's been it's crazy busy. That's all I could say.
Absolutely, it's been really busy. We thought that it was going to shut everybody down, and turns out that it just opened other doors that we had to kick in through, right? So
that's right. That's so true.
Right.
That's so true. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions before we get to hear you perform. The first question I have for you is, what inspired you to get into music?
Well, we grow up around music, right? I think in every community we grow up around it, whether it be with the powwows that go on from the powwow trails. I know on the east side over here, there's the powwow trail is very active, so we're always around that. And on the rest, sometimes there's not a lot to do except for listen to music, right? And that's what we grew up in. In the Gaspésie, where I'm from, there's not a whole lot of things to do unless you're in the woods. But once you get home, we get to the music part. So music is just, we grew up in it, right? So it's an easy transition.
That's so true. So can you tell us where your community is from? Like, where is it located?
Yeah, so it's Giskabigia Rhonda. So we speak from the throat, right? So all the G's are pronounced over here. So Giskabigia is how we say it. Yeah, so a lot of people call it just Mulla for short. In Mi'kmaq, Mulla means home. And we're 29 Mi'kmaq communities around the Atlantic provinces. So for some reason, everybody calls our community home. But so that's it. And that's in the Gaspésie. So it's like you go any farther east in Quebec, you're falling in the water. You know, and we're on the peninsula. We're over there. So it's beautiful place, great salmon fishing, good hunting.
Yeah, it sounds like sounds like you come from a beautiful country.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful land. So another question that I wanted to ask you, it doesn't involve your music, but it involves in your past, where you worked. You were into politics. Can you tell us about that?
For sure. So I grew up in politics, right? Whether it be the Indian Act political system that we're all governed by, or the hereditary system. So my father comes from a bloodline, hereditary chief system. But he was elected chief when he was 21 under the Indian Act system. So my entire life, I grew up in the politics. So it was kind of natural once I got old enough and involved enough that I take the same route. And of course, that was, I was definitely encouraged a lot by my father. So I got into the politics. My goal was to try and break the system from inside rather than participate in the system. But I quickly realized that the system and that machine is the way it's greased. It's impossible to break from right inside, right? Because they're greasing the gears to the communities, right? So it's hard to break. So I decided to step away from that and use other means. And I've always been an activist. I've been busy on the streets since I'm 8 years old with my dad blocking roads. So, it was just, this is another platform. The music from the politics, it's just another platform to fight. But I've fought on every level of the government, whether it be community level, regional level, the provincial level, or the national level. So I know pretty much everyone and the players that are still there right now too. So.
That's awesome. And one thing I wanted to mention, as a musician, nobody can't censor us what we write. So it's really cool to be a musician, right? We can say whatever the hell we're thinking or we tell our stories through our music, and no one can't shut us down.
Yeah, that's it. We can't be censored like that. And there's another important thing about art and music in comparison to politics. And that's the fact that a lot more people are listening to artists than they are to politicians, right? So it's a better platform to reach people, to share our stories, to share our struggles, and try and find solutions. So for me, the artist platform is the way to create change.
That's so true. So true. So are you ready to sing your first piece?
Sure. I'm going to try and do it with my speaker. I had problems a while ago with the thing. So I'm just going to put a speaker on. This song is called Slip Away, and I wrote it for a friend of mine in Giscard. His name is Robert Jerome, and his mom's name was Linda Condo, and she was murdered in 1988, and still no justice, and it's crazy. So I wrote the song for them, so I hope you enjoy it. We're going to see if it works. We'll try it out. Let me know if it's too loud. Protect, never rest, defend the lives of the rest. Reminded by the red dress, missing lives, murdered wives, can't count the deaths. On my mind, intertwined in loneliness, from the empty homes that they left, for me to deal with emotional distress. Haunted dreams, no witness to the pain and sufferance. Victims without justice, reminded by the red dress. I can still hear your voice when you used to sing me to sleep. Up on that phone all night, I'd wait to hear you speak. This long distance love makes me weak. I try to pretend that you'll be home next week. To meet my kids, they're so sweet. I miss having you kiss my cheek when my mood's down real steep. I miss you, Mom. Every day I weep. Protect, never rest, defend the lives of the rest. Reminded by the red dress, missing lives, murdered wives, can't count the deaths. On my mind, intertwined in loneliness, from the empty homes that they left, for me to deal with emotional distress. Haunted dreams, no witness to the pain and sufferance. Victims without justice, reminded by the red dress. And I drive by every day knowing that someone knows something, and I pray that I find a way to convince them to say the truth about what happened that day. And if at least I could find you peace, I'd let the Creator destroy that beast who took my mother from me and my brothers and left me alone to find my way. I miss you, Mom. I still weep every day. Protect, never rest, defend the lives of the rest. Reminded by the red dress, missing lives, murdered wives, can't count the deaths. On my mind, intertwined in loneliness, from the empty homes that they left. For me to deal with emotional distress, haunted dreams, no witness to the pain and sufferance. Victims without justice, reminded by the red dress. 1988 is a date that I hate. My life with my mom forced to separate. You didn't have to take my mom's life away. In my heart she stays. I still look for ways. For justice I pray. Rest in peace one day. Protect, never rest. Defend lives of the rest. Reminded by the red dress. Missing lives, murdered wives, can't count the deaths. On my mind, intertwined in loneliness. From the empty homes that they left. For me to deal with emotional distress. Haunted dreams, no witness to the pain and sufferance. Victims without justice. Reminded by the red dress. And every day we're reminded by that red dress. The Canadian genocide left our communities in a big mess. Rest in peace. All the girls lost.
Wow, that was a powerful song.
Thank you. Was the sound all right? You could hear it?
Sounded all right. Yeah, it sounded really, really powerful. Really
Thank
powerful
you.
words. Yeah, thank you
Thank
for sharing that. And that is a really big issue in our country, not only Canada but United States too. Missing and murdered Indigenous women and the violence that happens. Like it happened to me in Winnipeg here, and still continuing to happen. And it's just, I don't know when it's going to stop, but it needs to stop.
It's unacceptable, but this is where we have to step up. Everyone needs to step up. I think when there's platforms that can be utilized, like the ones that we're using right now, to bring awareness and try to protect our women, try and protect the people around us, our daughters, our nieces, our moms. So, we got to keep fighting.
That's right. Which leads me to my next question is, I watched your videos, all eyes on the Mi'kma'ki. It was a real powerful video, and the East Coast, they were making lots of, there was a lot of media attention going on there with the fishing industry. And your video was really, really powerful. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, that was going on in Subanagadi with the community over there, the Mi'kmaq community in Nova Scotia. And, everybody knows the story. Most of us know the story anyway. So I write songs usually for the times when something's happening. It inspires me to write right now. Like I said, for me, hip hop is a weapon, right? It's just a way to go out there and fight. So there was protests going on everywhere. I was involved in railway blocks over here in Sherbrooke and in Montreal and all over the place, all over the province, everywhere we can go. So we're bringing awareness. We're activists. We're busy. And so I wrote the song real quick, went down with my producer and said, all right, we got to work this out. It's got to come out now. And I contacted some friends who do the music videos, and we were right there. We were even in Ottawa. We were in Ottawa protesting over there. I think some of the images are coming from there. And so it was, this is our regular lifestyle, right? So we're always on the streets, and we're always waving flags and calling for justice. So it was just captured on that video for the time that was going on. So All Eyes on Mi'kma'ki was, I really like that song.
Yeah, that was really, really powerful video, and it just captured the events going on at that time, and the power of the people protesting. It was such a great good for you for doing that video. I'm proud of you for doing that. It's such a
thank you.
Awesome video and good message, and educating all of Canada what's going on there in our territories, right? Our traditional lands. And
yeah, and it's important they hear us. It's important they hear that we're ready to stand up and fight for this. It's important that they know that we'll use every platform, everything we got to do to protect what's inherently ours.
That's right. And our voices are getting louder and louder and louder, and they can't keep us quiet anymore.
No, and thankfully, we have people like you that are doing shows like this and bringing it out and spreading that information. So we got a lot of warriors on the ground.
That's right. When we need more and more to keep joining us, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But we'll motivate them. We'll motivate them.
Oh yes, for sure. Okay, the other question, you kind of talked a little bit about it already. Oh, my friend Diane Pelly says awesome. She's from Opaskwayak.
Hello, Diane.
Trudy Stevenson says hi from St. Laurent.
Hey, how you doing?
Someone, Facebook user that probably knows who you are. She said, hi, Rhonda. This is awesome. You got to talk with Quentin. We are neighbors.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what I forgot to tell you. Like during the show, the viewers will join in and make comments, and then I'll bring them up onto the screen. I don't know if you have a computer, but
yeah.
So I'll bring them up on the screen. Sometimes I'll ask questions for you. So if anyone has questions for Quentin, please feel free to ask, and I'll relay the message on. And thank you for tuning in this evening. So the next question I had is you sing about the issues facing Indigenous people. Where does this creativity come from when you're writing your lyrics and melodies?
The inspiration is from the times. It's from our struggles, right? So it's pretty much everything that it's weird. It's like a lot of the things that we struggle with in our communities, whether it be suicide or abuse or all of these things. Most of the time we try and keep them taboo, and I think we've kept them taboo for too long, and that's how things have gotten out of hand. And in order to solve a problem, the first thing you got to do is talk about it. Right. So I'm inspired by change. So I try and use the music in order to create that change by talking about the things that are around me. So I'm inspired by our everyday life and the struggles that are constantly coming up.
That's cool. But that's so true. That's so true. Are you ready to perform your next piece?
Sure. This song is this one's a little more fun, but it's kind of a social experiment. It's weird. It's I took an old Johnny Cash tune called Cocaine Blues, and I didn't like the fact that he was talking about shooting women down. So I flipped it around and we're shooting the police down. And it's kind of like a social experiment to see who's going to call me out on it and try and say it's unacceptable. So here we go. It's Cocaine Blues. Come on, you guys can get up too. You can get up and move if you want to this one. Yeah. Early one morning while making the rounds, I took a shot of cocaine and shot the police down. I went right home and I went to bed. I stuck that loving 44 beneath my head. Got up the next morning and I grabbed that gun. Took a shot of cocaine and away I run. I made a good run, but I run too slow. They overtook me in Ontario. I laid in the hot joint taking a pill. In walked the sheriff from Jericho Hill. He said, Willie Lee, your name is not Jack Brown, and you're that motherfucker who shot that police down. I said, yes, sir, my name is Willie Lee, and if you got a warrant, just read it to me. I shot that pig down for messing with my flow, cause I ain't taking shit from no 5-0. But when I was arrested, I was dressed in black. They put me on a train and they took me back. I had no friends for to make my bail, so they locked my ass up in that county jail. Early next morning, about 9:30, I seen the fucking sheriff walking down the line. He laughed and coughed as he cleared his throat. He said, get your ass in the district court. Into the courtroom, my trial began, where I was handled by 12 white men. Just before the jury started out, I could see that fucking judge commence to look about. In less than 5 minutes in walked a man, carrying the verdict in his right hand. The verdict it read in the first degree. I screamed, Creator, please have mercy on me. The judge, he smiled as he picked up his pen. 99 years in the St. Quentin pen. 99 years underneath that ground. I can't forget the day I shot that fucking pig down. Come on, y'all, listen to me. Lay off that whiskey and let that cocaine be. I'll tell you why. When I was arrested, I was dressed in black. They put me on a train and they took me back. I had no friends for to make my bail, so they locked my ass up in the county jail. When I was arrested, I was dressed in black. They put me on a train and they took me back. I had no friends for to make my bail, so they locked my ass up in the county jail. Oh, well, I'm going to hell, you might as well come follow me. I won't show. Q052, Cocaine Blues. Shoot 'em up.
Awesome. I like that. That was so awesome. Okay, Res Radio says sounds good, and he does sing traditional song, and he has used any in his tracks. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So I do sing traditional songs, and I've incorporated them into a few of my tracks on my last album. The album's called Gamazi, and it means rise up in our language. And Hip Hop My Weapon has my you can hear my drum in it. So my hand drum is in there. In the song called there's another one, it's called Guess Beg. That one there, I'm speaking Mi'kmaq in it, and I also, you can hear my chanting in it as well. So there's a few songs that I've done that, and actually a lot of shows that I open up all over the place. It's usually I start off with the Mi'kmaq honor song or do something like that, you know. So, and I would share the honor song right now if I could, but I can't because it's St. Paddy's Day and my mom's Irish, and I already had a Guinness a while ago. So, you know, so I can't touch my drum.
So Res Radio said kind of got an easy E flow with that. Cool.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So that was the next question that Res Radio asked. I wanted to ask you about your album Kwamazi. Is that how you say it?
Gamazi.
Kwamazi. Yeah, and you told us about. Can you tell us more about the album that you made?
Yeah, it's really bluesy, kind of jazzy and whatnot. So, you know, when I'm on stage, I have my full band with me. I go out there, I have a drummer, a bass player, a guitarist, keyboard, and a DJ. So we take up a lot of room on the stage. And I just like that organic sound. I really like the sound, for sure, for radio and recording purposes. You know, it's a lot cheaper for me to record with my producer than to record a live band in studio. You know, it's a lot more expensive. So I choose to do it like that. And then I take my shows out on the road with the full band. So, you know, it's kind of, that's why it's got that jazz blues influence, because when we're on stage, you know, the sound really comes out, you know.
Cool. Now I want to hear your album. So I'm going to download it. I'm going to check it out. And we were talking earlier, and you told me that you also speak French.
Yep.
So I know the ladies that are tuning in including myself, want to hear you say some things in French.
Oui, je peux parler en français toute la soirée si tu veux parler en français. Aucun problème. Je parle. C'est pour ça que je fais de la télévision en français aussi. Je suis capable. So, you know, the more languages you can grab, the more doors you have open. And I believe that the more languages you have, the better you can reach more people when you're in this fight, you know, because we need to fight with everybody, you know, so they all need to understand what we're saying.
That's so true. That's so true. And I want to thank you for sharing your music with us. And Lenore Laughlin said, "Wow." So yeah, I want to thank you for when I reached out to you, you just said yeah right away to be interviewed, and I'm really glad that I got to interview you and sharing your stories and where your music comes from. And Res Radio said, well, will you be touring the US in the future sometime? Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this year we were planning on doing a pretty good tour, going all over the place, and obviously COVID and everything. But I'll definitely be getting down. I've got roots in New York City, right? So I definitely gonna be going down to New York. My mom's Irish American, right? So you know, I need to get down there.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we all need to start touring, and I'm hopefully it's gonna happen soon. The numbers are starting to go down slowly, and then things are starting to open up slowly. So we still need to keep being diligent and
Yeah.
hand
But
sanitizer.
we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it,
Yes,
people.
yes,
They're not knocking us off yet. No, they couldn't do it 500 years ago. They're not gonna do it today, and they're sure as fuck not gonna get away with it tomorrow.
That's right.
for sure.
That's right. So we'll probably see each other on the music trail when it opens up. I'm looking forward to seeing one of your live shows for sure.
Absolutely.
And so where can people find your music?
You can find my music is up on pretty much all the platforms. So if you find it on Spotify, you can find it on Deezer, iTunes, pretty much everywhere you look for it. So Bandcamp, all of those things, and yeah, it's out there. You know.
Right on.
Pretty soon I'll be coming to a community near you.
That's right. So I'm going to be adding one of your tracks onto the Indigenous Superstar Volume 2 playlist. So go and like it and share the link. I'm trying to get the playlist to have at least more than 25, so it can list on your Spotify site. So
Awesome.
and everyone tuning in, like go like my YouTube page and go like my Spotify and like the Spotify Indigenous Volume 2 playlist, because
Awesome.
Quentin's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
And I never asked if you're on iTunes.
Yeah, I'm on iTunes. I'm on Apple Music. I think I must be on like 25 different platforms. So it's all.
So it'll be easy to find on the internet then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have any parting words?
Up na multas. I hope everybody's doing good. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be safe, and love hard. That's one thing. Make sure you're loving hard, right? Love more than you hate. That's for sure. If you hate anything, hate a food or something, right? Don't hate people. So
good advice. Thank you so much for sharing your words, and thank you for your time and sharing your music with us and your background and what inspires you. So I'm going to be following you on social media, and I'm going to go check out your music, and it's very powerful, and keep doing what you're doing, and it's great to know that you're a warrior, and you're looking out for us, and thank you for that so much.
Thank you for having me on the show. Really, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'll be following you as well.
Thank you very much.
Peace and love.
Okay, bye everyone. I'll see you, or we don't say bye in our language. It's kitam ki wapmitin, and I'm gonna go record that song tomorrow. I'm going into the recording studio, so I'm looking forward to releasing that probably within the next month or so. Kitam ki wapmitin.
Up na multas.
Yep. So stay safe and stay healthy. Kisagi tin.
Tune in again next time when Rhonda interviews another up-and-coming Indigenous superstar. Only on Indigenous Superstar.